Now, let me start with something that might sound surprising. For many people, becoming a doctor is considered the ultimate career achievement. Number one, it's respected, it's stable, it's meaningful, and yet something interesting has been happening over the past few years. More and more doctors are leaving clinical practice, and it's not because they failed, it's not because they couldn't handle medicine, but because they chose to step away. It's out of their own volition. They chose to step away. They made a decision to step away. Now, when people hear that, the immediate reaction is usually confusion. Why will someone spend more than 6 years studying medicine, go through internship, sometimes even residency, only for them to step away or only for them to leave the practice of medicine? Well, the answer is not that simple. But if we look closely, there are several reasons behind this shift. And once you understand them, it begins to actually make sense why people make decisions to step away or to leave medicine practice. First, I would like us to talk about the journey to becoming a doctor before we look at these reasons, because it will help us to build context to understand it better. And for most people, the journey starts very early in their lives. They work hard in school, they aim for top grades, they compete with thousands of other students for a very limited number of medical school slots. Then once they finally enter medical school, the real work then begins. Talk about years of intense studying, talk about long clinical rotations, exams that seems never ending, and of course, the emotional weight of seeing real patients for the first time in their lives. And despite all that pressure that they go through, most students actually push through medical school. And the reason why they do this is because they believe that once they finish, life will finally stabilize, that the long nights that they spent will actually make sense, and the sacrifice will ultimately pay off, and the career will be worth it. But for some doctors, when they reach the other side, the reality feels totally different. And now, when you turn now the page to the reasons why doctors leave medicine, one of the biggest reasons why doctors leave medicine is burnout. Medicine is not just intellectually demanding. Far from it, it's emotionally demanding too. And doctors deal with suffering almost every single day. They see patients at their most vulnerable. They carry enormous responsibilities at the place of work, and sometimes they even work extremely long hours with very little rest. And this could be your experience as a doctor. Now imagine doing that for years. Week after week, you're doing this. Night shifts, emergency calls, talk about administrative pressure that comes at the place of work. And over time, that emotional load, it starts to accumulate. Over time, it starts to accumulate. And eventually, some doctors, they pause and ask themselves a difficult question, but a very important one. A difficult but very important question. And perhaps you may need to ask yourself this question as well. Can I realistically do this for the next 30 years? That's a very important question. Can I realistically do this for the next 30 years? And for some, the answer becomes a no. And that realization pushes them to explore other options within the healthcare space. But burnout is not only part of the story. It's important to note that another factor is how healthcare systems themselves are changing. Healthcare today is far more complex than it used to be. And doctors now spend a lot of time dealing with systems. Talk about documentation, talk about insurance procedures, talk about administrative requirements, talk about hospital management policies. And sometimes doctors, they feel like they are spending more time navigating the systems than actually practicing medicine that they studied, and that can be very frustrating because most doctors entered medicine to care for patients. That is always the drive behind most doctors. So the moment you push them to systems, then it becomes very frustrating. They didn't enter medical school to battle bureaucracy. That is far from it. And over time, that frustration that they're experiencing can lead to some professionals to actually reconsider their path. Then there's another shift that is also happening within the space, especially among young doctors. And this I've observed, especially with my peers in the profession. And many are beginning to ask a different question. Instead of them asking, where can I work as a doctor? They're now asking, where can my medical knowledge create the greatest impact? And once they start asking that question, they discover something quite interesting. The healthcare world is much bigger than the hospital, as we've been knowing it. And doctors today work in many different areas. Some work in pharmaceutical companies, and there they help to develop new medicines. Others, they work in health technology startups, and there they help in designing digital tools for patient care. And some have moved into health policy, where they're helping governments to shape healthcare systems. Others now are focusing on research, innovation, or even global health programs. And, in these roles, doctors may not see patients every day, but they influence healthcare on a much larger scale. So instead of treating one patient at a time, they help design systems that affect millions at any single time. For many doctors, that kind of impact is very appealing, and that informs why they're shifting towards that direction from the conventional practice of medicine as we have known it. Now, let's address something important. When people hear that a doctor left clinical practice, they sometimes assume something negative happened. They think the doctor gave up medicine, but that interpretation is not always fair. So in many cases, doctors who move into new areas are still contributing to healthcare. It's important to know that they're just doing it differently. Think about it. A doctor working in drug development may help bring life-saving medicines to the market. And a doctor in health policy, they may help to improve national healthcare systems at a large scale. A doctor in digital health might help to build tools that make care more accessible, if you think about it. So leaving clinical practice doesn't necessarily mean, or doesn't always mean, leaving medicine. Sometimes it simply means applying medical knowledge in a different way, and that is okay. They just find a different place to apply their medical knowledge, and that's okay. Another reason doctors leave medicine is the search for autonomy. Of course, every human being dreams of autonomy. In some healthcare environments, doctors, they feel that they have very little control over how they work. Talk about the hospital policies that might be limiting, resource limitations, system constraints, financial pressures, and all of this can shape how doctors practice. So for professionals who value independence and creativity, this environment can feel very restrictive. It can feel very restrictive to them. And eventually, some may decide they want more control over their time, their projects, or their direction in career or in life in general, and that pushes them towards alternative paths. But here's the thing that I want you to note. Not every doctor wants to leave medicine. Not every doctor wants to leave medicine. In fact, many doctors, they remain deeply passionate about clinical practice. They love patient care. They enjoy solving medical problems. They value the relationships they build with patients. And for them, medicine remains one of the most meaningful careers imaginable. So the story is not that doctors are abandoning medicine. The story is that medicine itself is demanding and it's expanding. The profession is evolving, and doctors are discovering that their training allows them to contribute in many different ways. So for students and young healthcare professionals that are listening to this is an important lesson. A medical degree is incredibly powerful. As we know, it is incredibly powerful. No lie about it. But it doesn't lock you into one single path. It gives you a foundation. What you build on top of that foundation is up to you to decide. Some doctors will spend their entire careers in hospitals. Others will move into leadership. Others into research. Others into entrepreneurship or innovation. And all of these paths still contribute to healthcare. It's important to know that it's okay to choose whichever path you want to choose. So when we ask the question, why do many doctors leave medicine? The answer isn't always negative. Sometimes it's burnout, sometimes it's frustration, and often it's out of curiosity that they leave medicine. Curiosity about where else their knowledge and experience can make a difference. And perhaps that's not a problem. Perhaps it's a sign that the healthcare profession is becoming more dynamic and more flexible than ever before. So if you're a medical student or an early career doctor watching this particular video, here's the key takeaway that I want you to have. Your degree is not a cage. You've not been locked inside your degree. It's a platform. It opens doors. And while clinical practice will always remain an essential part of medicine, it's not the only way to contribute to healthcare. It's not the only way to contribute to healthcare. And if this conversation resonates with you, I would love to hear your thoughts about it. Do you think more doctors will leave clinical practice in the future? And do you think the system will adopt to keep them? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And remember, this is the Medical Hub, where we explore careers, opportunities, and the evolving future of healthcare professionals. Remember to subscribe and click the notification bell, and see you in the next video. Bye-bye.